All right, let's jump right into a really powerful idea. What if, what if you ran your life with the exact same focus and strategy as a successful business?
That's it. That's the big idea right there. The second you start making your own choices, you become the CEO of your own life. You're the one calling the shots on income, costs, investments, and of course, your own growth.
So here's the big question for you, the CEO. What's your business plan? I mean, every great company has one, right? A roadmap. And for you, Inc., it's no different. If you're thinking, uh-oh, I don't have one, hey, no worries. That's exactly what we're going to tackle today.
Okay, here's the game plan. First, we'll cover the whole youinc idea. Then, we'll nail down your corporate mission. After that, it's all about managing operations, making big investments, and finally, we'll get you set up with your very own executive toolkit.
All right, first up, welcome to youinc. Let's dig into this founding idea and why thinking this way is such a game changer.
So, why even bother thinking like this? Well, think about it. The businesses that really make it, they're the ones with a plan. They make smart moves with their money. Your life? It's exactly the same. When you apply these business principles, you get structure, you get clarity, and you're ready for whatever comes next.
Okay, on to part two. Now that we've got the big idea down, it's time to write your corporate mission. This is the bedrock of your entire business plan.
Look, before we even touch a spreadsheet, you gotta answer this one question. What kind of life do you actually want to build? What's your why? That's your mission statement. It's like the North Star for every single decision you'll make as CEO.
A mission statement is awesome, but it's nothing without action. So you break it down. Step 1, short-term goals. We're talking things like finishing school or saving that first $5,000. Step 2, medium term. This is where you might buy a car or finally take that trip. And then step 3, the big ones. The long-term goals like owning a home and, yep, retirement. And you can actually see this laid out on a timeline. Your life is basically the life cycle of a business. You've got your startup phase around 18, then career building, maybe family, buying a home, all the way to retirement and legacy planning. A smart CEO sees these stages coming and plans for them. Okay, section 3. We've got the big strategy. Now it's time to get our hands dirty with the nitty-gritty, managing the day-to-day operations of youinc. So when you're just getting started, you're basically a startup. And every startup has operating costs. You've got rent, transport, food, the usual suspects. This isn't just about getting by. It's about managing your cash flow from day one so you don't fall into any traps. And yeah, you see fun and social on there? That's a real business expense. A good CEO knows you got to keep the star employee, that's you, happy. This is basically your personal P&L statement. Super simple. On one side, you've got revenue. That's your salary, any side gigs, whatever brings money in. On the other side, costs, rent, bills, all the money going out. The goal? It's the same for every business on the planet. Make sure the first number is bigger than the second.
And here is the absolute key. That money left over, it's not just savings. No way. It's your growth capital. This is the cash you reinvest back into your own company, youinc, to fund everything else you want to do.
Okay, once you've got the day-to-day humming along, it's time for the big leagues. Section 4. We're talking about those huge, life-changing decisions, your major capital investments. I want you to think about these things differently. Buying a car, getting a house, starting a family, heck, even getting a dog. These aren't just personal choices. They are massive asset acquisitions for your company. And every single one has long-term financial consequences you got to think through. So how do you approach these big decisions? Simple. You put on your CFO hat. You don't just feel like it's the right time to buy a house. You run the numbers. You build spreadsheets. You forecast. You play out different what-if scenarios. You make a strategic, data-driven decision. All right, we're at the final section. Every great CEO needs the right tools to get the job done. So let's build your executive toolkit. Think of this as the command center for youinc. First tool in the box? KPIs, Key Performance Indicators. This is just a fancy way of saying the critical numbers that tell you how healthy your business is. They show you what's working, what's not, and where you need to focus. And what's cool is we can translate these business metrics directly to your life. So a company's profit margin, for you, that's your monthly savings rate. A company's debt-to-equity ratio, that's your debt-to-income ratio. And that one is super important because it's what banks look at. Cash reserves, that's just your emergency fund. See? These are the real numbers that show you the health of youinc. And the toolkit has a few more things. You need a personal balance sheet, that's how you track your net worth, a cash flow tracker, which is just a budget. You need risk management, that's your insurance. And just like a real company, you got to do an annual review to see how you're doing and maybe change up the plan.
And last but not least, every CEO needs an exit strategy. Now for you, that's not selling the company. It's planning for retirement, thinking about future health, and deciding what kind of legacy you want to leave behind.
So let's wrap this up. This whole idea, it's about taking control. It's about empowerment. You're not just a passenger in your own life. You are actively running the show. You are a business. You are the CEO. And now you've got a plan. So I'll leave you with this. The very first board meeting of You Inc. starts right now. You're the one in the big chair. So, what's your first order of business?